Authority of the City of Alpharetta. We have 4 of our 7 members here tonight. So we do have a quorum and we can conduct business. We have Morgan, Jack, Sean, and Dan. So John, Jill, and David are not with us tonight. But our statement of purpose, and this is a good one, the Development Authority of Alpharetta is granted powers and jurisdiction through the State of Georgia General Assembly and a resolution adopted by the Alpharetta City Council on September 3rd, 1996. The function of the authority is to promote the public good and general welfare, trade, commerce, industry, general tax base, and the employment opportunities available in the city of Alpharetta. So the only item that we have on our agenda tonight is the bond resolution for Wellstar Health Systems. So Woody, do you want to walk us through that?
All right, thank you all. My name is Woody Vaughn, bond counsel. I know met all of you many times. We're here today, to talk about Wellstar and their refinancing of their debt for their capital projects. There's more than just what we're doing here in Alpharetta. This is part of a wider transaction for them for their main campus. That is it, the Roswell Development Authority? Yes. Yeah, that the Roswell Development Authority is meeting, and then also they've got a facility down in Griffin. So there's 3 authorities all meeting to approve a bond resolution, which will consummate a large financing transaction where Bank of America is serving as a credit enhancement for bonds that are going to actually be publicly issued or privately placed. But this is a transaction which there is real financing. So this is unlike a lot of your deals where you're using your discretionary authority to provide a tax abatement in order to induce projects, maybe under a but-for test. This is different. This is through the Development Authority's law where you all are a facilitator for actual financing. And federal law allows all 501c3s to issue tax exempt to finance or refinance their capital expenditures. So we're working with their lawyers and their bond counsel on making sure all that of the original financing complies so that we can issue the tax exempt debt to refinance some of their taxable debt. It is not done a ton in Georgia just because you're not seeing development authorities doing a lot of hospital deals. Sometimes they're done through hospital authorities. It's great for Alpharetta that they're here and want to do a transaction with you all. The development authority gets to be more involved. They feel like they're more of a corporate community citizen. That is a basic summary of the financing. But Jimmy's here from Wellstar, and maybe he could talk about what their operations are in town here. If you all have any questions for either Jimmy or myself, we're happy to answer any of them.
Thanks, Woody. My name is Jimmy Swartz. I serve Wellstar Health System as the Vice President of Accounting for the shared services function. We have 11 hospitals across the metro Atlanta area, down in Griffin, LaGrange, out in Augusta. Specifically here, we have North Fulton Medical Center over just around the corner here in Roswell is the main campus of the hospital. We acquired that hospital from the Tenet facility, from Tenet Healthcare back in 2016. And we've been Wellstarizing that. Part of the medical center is we have what we call a health park. We call Avalon Health Park. It's just across the street from Avalon here in the Alpharetta City District. And that health park provides outpatient hospital services and physician services to the community. Wellstar is a not-for-profit health system. North Fulton is a not-for-profit. As a not-for-profit, the community, we invest in the community. The community are our shareholders. They are our patients. That is where we are and who we serve. And so in Alpharetta, we have this health park where we have imaging services, and the health park is intended to be kind of, per se, one-stop shopping for healthcare. You can go to your primary care, you can see a specialist, cardiologist, pulmonologist, you can have imaging work done, you can have lab work done, that are hospital-based services from an outpatient perspective. We originally had a lease on that building. We acquired that building from the developer that originally developed that building. We bought out the lease and took over the remainder of the space. And we have grown that, and we use 100% of that building to deliver medical services. When we acquired that building from a lease perspective, we issued taxable, we just borrowed money from a bank on a taxable basis because the rates were so close. And now with the widening of the interest rates, with the rising rate environment, taxable and tax-exempt rates have widened. Further, we had not historically really had a platform or a mechanism to issue through a conduit issuer in the Alpharetta area. We had historically used some Fulton County Development Authority when we first acquired the tenant facilities. But now we really see Alpharetta and Roswell as an opportunity of building a relationship with the development authorities to act as a conduit for us to issue the tax-exempt debt. There are some savings we will generate. There's a couple $100,000 of savings a year on this about $24 million of debt that's out that we'd like to refinance. We'll be using that to reinvest in the North Fulton Medical Center, primarily in furthering development of outpatient services as well as physician practices. We have a huge focus on investing in primary care physicians and growing the primary care physician network, as there's a shortage of primary care physicians across the state of Georgia, as well as specialists. So that's a little bit about what we do and why we're here, and I'm happy to answer any questions or try to answer any questions anyone has.
So you acquired the building when?
2018, I think. 2018 or 2019. We've been leasing the building. I don't know the specific acquisition date. I would have to look at my notes for it, but sometime in the late 2018, 2019, I think we acquired the building on a permanent basis, and we've just carried the taxable note because the interest rates have been so close, and over the past year, they've really widened out, and it's an opportunity to generate some savings. So.
Okay. Any questions for Wellstar? Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for your support.
And Woody. So this situation can only occur because they're a nonprofit. So a for-profit developer could not come and ask for the same thing.
That's correct. It's under this program with the federal government, it has to be a 501c3.
Okay, all right.
And what the federal government has done is they've said tax-exempt financing is available for certain, better term, feel-good type things, right? We're not going to let just anyone use tax-exempt financing, so nonprofits, affordable housing, solid waste disposal facility, those portion of big paper plants that recycle the pulp. Those are things the federal government wants to encourage investment in, so they allow them to do it on a tax-exempt basis.
Any questions for Woody? At this point?
What is the ask of the authority tonight? As I'm looking at the recommendation, what is the ask?
Yeah, it's to pass the bond resolution, which approves the trust indenture and the loan agreement in a substantial final form, allows us to go forward with the state law required validation process. And that just allows us to, and also to conduct, there's a required public hearing, and then we'll go to the mayor and get the mayor's approval after a public hearing. Those are just some federal law requirements in order for Wellstar to take advantage of the tax-exempt financing. Your bond resolution does all of that, which will allow Wellstar to close the transaction on all those locations together mid to late January. So the motion would be to a motion to approve the bond resolution.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve the bond resolution.
I'll second.
So those in favor, since we have a second, so I'll go 4 for 4.
Right.
So the motion to approve the bond issue in an amount not to exceed $25 million has been approved. So thank you very much.
Great. Thanks.
And with that, I believe Charlotte has given us an update, and the update is in our packet. So with that, we can adjourn until 2025. So thank you very much.